Next up, 1 p.m. Eastern, Tennessee Titans 8-3, 4-1 on the road at New England Patriots 7-4, 2-4 at home. We're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 39 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. Elliot V, my man, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. And also Viper, my guy Viper, it's his birthday today.
Oh yeah,
in Colombia. So shout out to Vipe, who always has our
happy
back.
birthday.
Elliot V, enjoy your evening, and thanks for rolling
Happy
with us.
birthday, Viper, and thank you for the kind words, Elliot. I saw those regarding me, so thank you very much. Not necessary, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, Elliot's a great guy. And great capper, great to roll with. Let's go. Titans, Patriots next up here. Patriots open up as 5.5-point favorites. It quickly moves to 6, and then to 6.5. This total is sitting pretty firmly at 44.5. When we go over to the cash flow here, we have 4,009 tickets in. 33% of the tickets are on the Tennessee Titans, but 58% of the cash. Clearly, the sharp money and the big bets are on the Titans. Market moving towards the Patriots is something for us all to decipher. 38% of the tickets. 36% of the tickets on the under, and 74% of the cash. So we have, at this point, we see sharp action on the Titans, sharp action on the under. The AFC leading Titans coming off an embarrassing 22-13 loss at home to the Texans that snapped their 6-game winning streak. They outgained Houston 420-190. Tannehill was 35-52 for 323 yards, a touchdown, and 4 picks. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine had 7 catches for 107 yards. A.J. Brown had 5 catches for 48 yards and is banged up. Suffered a chest injury. X-rays have come back negative, but he is listed as questionable. AP led the ground game with 9 carries for 40 yards. The Titans were unable to dial up any pressure. They finished with 0 sacks, 1 quarterback hit. The Titans were without a sack for the first time since Week 15 of the 2020 season. They came in with 27 sacks. Bud Dupree on the injured reserve before the game. The Titans put him on the injured reserve, and Jack Rabbit Jenkins was a game-time scratch with a chest injury. Marcus Johnson, who had a 100-yard receiving game last week, was ruled out after hurting his right hamstring late in the first quarter. He's listed as questionable this week. Cornerback Chris Jackson hurt a foot. He's listed as questionable. Linebacker Joe Jones is on the COVID list. Tight end Jeff Swaim. Linebacker David Long. Cornerback Greg Mabin, I believe it's Greg Mabin. Sorry, I think that's just a autocorrect mistake. Running back Jeremy McNichols, cornerback Janoris Jenkins, guard Nate Davis, and linebacker Rashawn Evans, all inactive last week, all listed as questionable this week. This is a banged-up Titans team. Patriots are becoming a juggernaut in front of our very eyes, coming off extra rest, extra prep, their 5th straight win, easy 25-0 road victory over the Falcons on Thursday night. New England has its longest winning streak since they opened that 2019 season 8-0, Brady's last year. Mac Jones was 22-26 for 27 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Kendrick Bourne led receivers with 4 catches for 42 yards. Nelson Aguilar caught 5 for 40 and a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson kept rolling, 12 carries for 69 yards. Damian Harris ran 10 times for 56 yards. That's a nice-looking 1-2 punch over there. The defense looked excellent. 4 quarterback sacks, 12 quarterback hits, 4 interceptions. Kyle Van Noy, 8 tackles, 2 sacks, returned an interception for 35 yards for a TD. Matt Judon now is 10.5 sacks on the year. New England has allowed 13 points in its last 3 games. Babano, very, very interesting spot where we could possibly take advantage of everything that was seen last week, or is what we've been seeing recently reality? Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do we get a little carried away with all the move toward New England in this game? I understand they're playing outstanding football right now. They've turned it on, 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread. And when the betting markets who have been, they've been betting New England every week, essentially. You go back to the Cleveland game, the Atlanta game, and now they've cashed 2 in a row. What are you going to do when you're winning with one team? You're going to bet them again the next week, and I think that's what they're doing here. This opened as low as 3. In some spots, and now it's up to 6.5 across the board. I think it's getting a little bit inflated personally, but we got to see this Titans injury report clear up a little bit by Friday before we can get involved with them, or at least before I can get involved with them, because this is significant. Key personnel missing on both sides of the football potentially for this game. We already know about Derrick Henry, Bud Dupree, abdominal injury, Julio Jones, with a chest injury. Now A.J. Brown may not suit up. You're talking about 2 top receivers might not go here for this Titans team to go with Derrick Henry, who is the number 1 catalyst for this offense. You've got the injuries on defense, Janoris Jenkins, You've got, like I said, Dupree earlier. You've got Chris Jackson in the secondary. You've also got another receiver, too, Marcus Johnson out. So this is a beleaguered and ravaged football team from an injury standpoint. So I got to see if we get some of these players back. And it's not just the injuries, it's the decline of this offense. Because let's not forget, even in the win against the Rams on the Sunday night game a few weeks ago, the offense didn't really move the ball. A lot of that was Matt Stafford throwing picks, a pick six, and another interception, which set up the Titans with a short field in that game. That Titans offense and Tannehill didn't have to do much. That was the first game without Derrick Henry. So this is an offense that has clearly had their problems now the last couple of weeks. The Rams game, the Houston game, couldn't hold on to the football when you've got new players in the offense. You've got all kinds of different faces out there. You're going to be out of sync. You're going to have screw-ups. And they turned the ball over with reckless abandon against Houston in that game. And it was the ultimate bet against spot for Tennessee. After all the big games they played and the injuries mounting, it made all the sense in the world to take Houston last week. But now the shoe's on the other foot. The betting markets have crashed on Tennessee. The betting markets are red hot, white hot, whatever term you want to use on the New England Patriots. This is not a buy low spot for New England. This is absolutely a buy low spot for Tennessee. But man, they're such a banged up team that I got to see if they get some of this artillery back before I'm ready to take points with them. I'm leaning that way. Mike Vrabel's gotten the better of the teacher, if you will, Bill Belichick, in the two head-to-head meetings between these two teams since Vrabel was the head coach. 2-0 straight up and against the spread for Vrabel over Belichick, including a playoff victory for the Titans over this Patriots team. But again, this is a banged-up football team. And again, Vrabel's going to know what to expect from the Patriots. This is a guy that played under Bill Belichick for the New England Patriots for a very long time in the earlier years of the Tom Brady-Belichick era. Vrabel was on a lot of those New England teams. He's going to know what to expect here a little bit. So there's a lot of reasons and point spread value as well to like Tennessee. But that injury report's ugly. I got to see it clear up before I can go ahead with it.
Yeah, Patriots with the Bills on deck. This is just, there's so many levels to this cap. C-Mac, take it away. Titans, Patriots.
Yeah, you went over a lot of it, Labano. Sometimes you run it over and nail a lot of the shit that I'm going to say. The thing I wanted to bring up was Vrabel's been really good against Belichick. There's a shitload of love. The shitty thing is those injuries. Those are the playmakers. Without Henry now, they can run the ball, but it's just difficult to take. If this goes, I think Birdie said, if I could get over 7, I like the Titans here, especially if we can get news on Brown or Jones in this game. I think it's just too many. I think Vrabel knows a few of the secrets of this Patriots team and Belichick. But this team's just rolling. The most impressive thing has been the defense with the Pats. They've been phenomenal here. With the news of these, right now, I will make this official. I want the under. I just don't know if I want to double up and take the Titans under, team total under. This Patriots defense has been for real. And after seeing the Titans right now, they don't scare me anything going into this game. And it seems kind of the flat spot you talked about, Jimmy. Bills on deck. Seems like a ho-hum workman-like game. Belichick, they're going to blow out Vrabel here. I'm sure if they're up, he's not going to totally run it up here. So I like the under 44.5 in this game. And I might look at the Titans team total, see if these guys come back. I think the Patriots defense is really coming into form. The big problem is, Jimmy, in some of these games, they've scored so much, they've been blowouts. It's been over, like when they beat the Browns 45-7, the Jets 54-30. They've had some games where that scares me a little bit. But I don't know. I don't see it here. I like the under 44.5.
I like the under too. I think the under makes perfect sense. Like you said, quote unquote, the workmanlike effort with the Bills on deck. And now the question is, do we wait and see if Titans get some of their playmakers back? If they get their playmakers back, we might be able to get a little bit of a better number. Or are they not coming back, ruled officially out, and the number drops to 42.5?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Difficult.
So I think we bet tonight. what I think.
I think we bet tonight too.
I think if you like the under, you do bet it tonight.
Yeah.
This number's not going to hold. It's already gone down a little bit from the opener, and I'm seeing 44.5 in this one. So keep in mind. By the way, Mac Jones, you can make an argument. He's been the most efficient quarterback in the NFL the last 2 weeks. Two above 80% completion games in a row for Mac Jones. Like, he is just making great throws, and his accuracy is, I've been seeing him make throws right into tight, narrow windows and double coverage, triple coverage even sometimes. Like, his accuracy's been off the chart the last couple weeks. He's not making mistakes. He's got 4 TDs, the 1 interception. You got to love the progression for him. And this is a team that's got it going now. Offense, they're running the ball. Stevenson, they get Damian Harris back last week as well. The defense is playing their best football of the year. It just feels like the point spread value ship has sailed a little bit for New England. And I'll throw out one last stat here, and you cannot forget this or sleep on it. Tennessee 5-0 against the spread as an underdog this year, and they won all 5 of those games outright. Don't sleep on that. There's a tough team in this price range to bet against.
The Seahawks
Phenomenal.
win. The Seahawks win was like, I was losing my shit. I was losing my mind. I was so pumped up watching them do that. So do you want to add to that, C-Mac, before we move on?
No, Frey, he's just unbelievable as a on the road as a dog. His record speaks for itself, and this year it does as well. So I don't want to lay the points with the Pats. It's just a little bit too high here. I want nothing to deal with it, but I might look the other way. I don't know if we get 7.5. Maybe those guys are out. I don't know.
I don't think I need to bother with the side. I think we just
me too.
Bet under 44.5 and sit back because
Great.
Yeah, it just makes perfect sense that with the Pats focusing on the Bills, and this is a broken Tennessee team. You know, if the Patriots,
I wouldn't talk you out of that under, either of you. I wouldn't.
If the Patriots start running the table, it's going to make for an extremely exciting finish to the season, and I love it.